check if I pull it, so cut that. If they come at me crazy, I up that. Spirit got on my feet, can't trust that. I got gold on my soul and a mind full of diamonds, so 7-11 can't touch that. Can it come with a hammer, might bust back. But when I go in, they trust that, so they up that. Hold up, I can't take no breaks. Every game I'm never going MIA. Putting numbers on the board when I play. With the trophy in the air, I can't wait. This time I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. Yeah, this time I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. Yeah, this time I'm all in.
Till I'm in the coffin, passed out from the pain in the morning. Put the work in, that's on my calling. Why they be stalling? I go for call, it's like, there it is. Now we back again. I'm a product of my excellence that came with going in, yeah. From the lows to the highs, I done seen it all. Never stand for the bum, but I can't in talk. Now I'm finna pop off like a cannonball. Now what's the chance that I'm running and I can't install? I'm really committed to hustle religious. I run into the point and no end if I would defend it. All of mine. Who'd you pretending I'm one in a million so we could ever lose to a squad that be lazy, dog? That'd be crazy, dog. Blackmail really don't faze me, dog. Black man for the blackout. If I run 100 yards, feel like shade, dog. Look, I'ma hold it down 10 toes. I was made for it. I was made for it. Yeah, people try to tell me I'm a joke, but I was made chosen. I can't lose, baby, I've been ballin'. Shout out to the ones that got it started. I can't lose, baby, I'm an artist. Shout out to the ones that's going all in.
I can't take no breaks. Every game I'm never going MIA. Putting numbers on the board when I play. With the trophy in the air, I can't wait. This time I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in, yeah, I'm all in, yeah, this time I'm all in.
Sky, need me a fortune, picture me rolling. Top. Gon' tell him, ain't no Cinderella. This drip, hella, need an umbrella. What you do, I do better. Step up on the scene like a Kim Masquerada. If I want it, I can cop it, I won't tell nobody. Ain't no stopping, yeah, I'm on it, got no time to party. Ain't to the money, ain't nobody really for me. Ain't nobody really for me. Girl, need me a fortune. Picture me rolling. Picture me rolling in a drop top. If you want it, I can cop it. I won't tell nobody. Ain't no stopping, ain't no stopping, ain't no stopping, ain't no stopping. This ain't nothing for you, but you want it, my loving. I got nothing for you, but you want it, my loving. No more stuff makes me like the last one. My back's up, I'll be where the cash comes. You know I'll never be the last one. I won't tell nobody. Ain't no stopping, yeah, I'm on it. Got no time to party. I ain't to the money, ain't nobody really for me. Ain't nobody really for me. Girl, need me a fortune. Picture me rolling in a drop top. Girl, need me a fortune. Picture me rolling in a drop top.
Thinking they're taking a bait. Looks like they're top of the chain, but guess who is coming to play? Winner, winner, saint or sinner. Future brighter, watch it glimmer. Let it simmer, they're seething. Hearing them gas belly breathing, easing up, breaking a sweat, wheezing and catching their breath. Haven't seen anything yet. Looking for more, never settle for less. Calling the father who look for the ref. Falling behind you get left. Every mistake it'll cost you, dizzy you lost. Back to the line that you crossed. Levels about to be crossed. No doubt it's about to go.
Day 5 of this 2024 Armed Forces Basketball Championships, and we've got Army Navy to kick it off. The men, followed by the women here in the afternoon session. Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines. We're excited to bring it to you. First, the starting lineups.
The Navy men versus the Army men. Let's start with our visiting team. We have the Navy men. Number 4, Ryan McGee Coleman. Number 3, Noah Baldes. Number 22, Tyler Nelson. Number 5, William Bobby Miles. And we also have Matthew Sellers. Give it up for our visiting team today. For the home team, we have the Army men. Number 12, Donald Tension. Number 1, Mark Bowie. Number 30, Colton Ray. Number 23, Akeem Eccles. And number 25, Randall Haley. Give it up for the home team, our Army men. We also have some officiants in the building. Regulating the game today, we have Mike, we have Brandon, and Greg. Give it up for our officiants for today. Gentlemen, let's play ball.
Starting lineups have been introduced on the floor for Navy, the visiting team in this game. They are going to look like this. The point guard is Ryan McGee Coleman in the backcourt. He'll be joined by Bobby Miles and Noah Baldes. In the front court, it's going to be forward Tyler Nelson, the former Naval Academy midshipman. And at center, Matt Sellers for head coach Micah Bonner. For Army under first-year head coach Wayne Walcott, they'll look like this in the backcourt. Donald Tension, Mark Bowie, along with point guard Colton Ray. In the front court, Akeem Eccles, and Randall Haley gets the call at center, and he will be jumping up against Tyler Nelson to get things started. Army and Navy, Joel, both 3-1. This should be a fun one.
It's going to be a barn burner. The winner will absolutely put themselves in the driver's seat and a chance to be that #1 seed to make the championship game on Thursday.
Away we go from the Smith Fitness Center, right here in the heart of Fort Moore, Georgia. Beautiful day in the Peachtree State. And it's going to be a fun day of basketball. Haley, step back three, no. I talked to Navy head coach Micah Bonner, and he said, hey, today's a control game. We have to seize the moment. We need to do better defensively, but we control our own destiny. We can play our way right into the championship game with a win today.
Absolutely, and if this first possession is any indication, they are deliberate, they're intentional, they're executing their offense.
And a traveling call and a turnover for Navy. Army and point guard Colton Ray have had a nice tournament here. Their only loss in this tournament was to this very same Navy squad, an 81-78 loss. That was on the second day of play, as that shot won't go, rebounded by Miles.
I'm sure Army is chomping at the bit to get back at Navy. Their only defeat of the tournament, they lost by 3 points. So if tiebreakers come into play, the score will matter in terms of point differential.
Nice block from behind by Baldes, as Bobby Miles launches a three, and Miles able to corral the rebound.
Colton Ray is limping down the court, took a spill at the other end. Hopefully it's not anything too serious as he's trying to walk it off.
That first foul on Randall Haley. And can't afford to lose a Colton Ray.
You cannot, but as Army has shown, they have multiple pieces who can contribute on any given day. Colton Ray is a prolific scorer, but we've seen Tension and Bowie and Haley and the rest of these guys step up for Army.
Sellers came into the tournament, play today in the tournament at 40% from the free throw line, but he hits both, gives Navy the first points of the game, nearly 2 minutes gone by here. And Ray, no hesitation to go back to the bucket, can't connect. Valdez. And that's going to be on Bowie. So he'll pick up his first.
When Valdez gets a head of steam, he loves to take a beeline to the rim.
Navy to inbound here. They own the tiebreaker against Air Force. So a win here puts them in the gold medal game. Matt Sellers, and an offensive foul as he locked up with Randall Haley right there.
And that's going to be a battle all day between the two bigs, Sellers and Haley. A lot of beef inside. Looking forward to it.
Deliberate offense here from Army in the half court. Kicks it out. Ray for three. Got it.
Sellers does a good job initially showing on the ball screen. But attention finds Ray for the catch and shoot three in rhythm.
9th tray of the tournament for him. Nelson on the other end. And Haley down with the board. 3-2 Army lead here, just underway. Bowie thought about a three. Now he will take it. It's off the front iron. Feels like the first round of a heavyweight fight.
Absolutely, both teams trying to fill each other out in the early going. But I think we'll see some knockout punches as the day goes on.
And that's a big, big foul there as Sellers picks up number 2 early.
That is a huge foul. He was probably going to have to sit the majority of the half. But luckily for Navy, they have Ayala, who comes in to spell Sellers down low.
Army had 3 players in double figures the last time against Navy. Colt Ray had 29 points in that game. As Jakari Chambers off the glass.
Great pull-up jumper there off the glass. Didn't force the issue. Took what the defense gave him.
Three-point lead for Army. Haley and Bowie were in double figures in that game as well for Army. As the shot on the way, and that's good for Ryan McGee-Coleman.
Ryan McGee-Coleman with the lefty three off the assist from Brendan Clay. Very good to see him back in the game after taking the last game off due to an injury that he suffered early in the tournament.
Ayala and Clay did check into the lineup at that last dead ball when Sellers came out. Haley now working against Ayala. Baby hook shot. And the Army Sergeant can't connect on that one. Brendan Clay, reverse three on the other end. Got it.
That was a great pass advance to Valdez. Catch and shoot. As we mentioned, Clay returning to the lineup makes his presence felt early.
Donald Tension wants a three. Everybody trying to get in the act early.
Neither of these teams will be shy from three-point attempts.
Clay three, got it. He's hot.
Right on cue, 2 catch and shoot threes. You have to find him. And again, this is going to be, these are good outside shooting teams, so we have to close out and contest shot attempts.
9-0 run for Navy. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. How about Navy coming out on a 9-0 run here? Brendan Clay. How about 2 3-pointers in a row? I guess that's what some fresh legs might do for you.
Absolutely.
You got a day off.
And we talked about teams filling each other out early, but seems like Navy has delivered the first knockout punch.
6-point lead for the Sailors. Long way to go here. And a blocking foul, and Nelson, the Louisville, Kentucky products, whistled for that foul.
Both of these teams have played great basketball in this tournament, leading to their well-earned 3-1 records. This game is very important moving forward for the chance, as we said, to get to the championship game.
Shot clock at 6, and Ray launches a 3. And it's Clay down with the rebound. Turnover by Navy. Army runs the floor, and a foul. Brendan Clay.
McGee Coleman just lost it there off his foot, sending Army the other way, earning a trip to the free throw line. Bowie's been very active the last couple of games. One of those pieces other than Ray, who really needs to step up for this Army chance to have a chance to win the game.
Bowie, a perfect 9 for 9 in the tournament at the charity stripe. Bowie had a 14-point game against Navy the last time these two teams hooked up. I asked Mike Bonner, I said, how do you approach a rematch? And he said, you got to do some things different.
Both Wilcox and Coach Bonner are good coaches. I'm pretty sure they had their teams well prepared, made the proper adjustments, necessary adjustments, for their team.
Shot put up, won't go. 4-point lead for Navy. Colton Ray off the glass. That was a nice move.
Colton Ray never has a problem asserting himself in the game. Cuts the lead to 2.
A 4-0 run here for Navy. Out of the timeout, or excuse me, Army. And a whistle, and Akeem Eccles on the baseline.
Brendan Clay, very involved early in the game, coming off screens, catch and shoot, making plays for other players, finding Ayala there for the dump down, who draws the foul.
Ayala had a 19-point game against Army last time, 13 of those in the first half.
And that's a luxury for Navy and Coach Bonner to be able to bring a big like that off the bench who can produce, especially with his starting center Sellers in early foul trouble.
Second one on the way for Ayala. And 1 out of 2 for Dakota, averaging 60% from the free throw line in this tournament. 3-point lead, 1 possession game. It's going to be a tight one, I think, the whole game.
Yes, I imagine it's going to be back and forth, very, very competitive. Neither of these teams will go away.
Brendan Clay, nice move to the bucket, not able to complete it. Eccles. Marvin Tucker into the game for Army. And Akeem Eccles runs into some traffic, but the ball will stay with Army.
Ayala's very active on the defensive end right now, battling with Haley, defending the post, but at the same time, rotating for help, blocking that shot out of bounds.
Donald Tension and Randall James, who is starting to see more playing time as the tournament increases, check into the lineup. Tension, right off the bench, takes the shot. Rebound from Dakota Ayala.
You mentioned James, very valuable off the bench. Last night had 9 points on 3 threes.
Ayala lays it up, can't get it. Rebound underneath, needs to throw it up. And finally a whistle. And Dakota Ayala will go back to the free throw line. That foul whistled on Colt Ray. That's going to be his first. Team's fourth here in this first half. Just under 13 minutes to play. And the first free throw in and out for Ayala. 68% as a team, as you see that last foul there on the baseline. But Navy shooting 68% from the free throw line as a team. Two points now in the game for Dakota. It's a 4-point game between Army and Navy. Crowd's pretty quiet this morning.
Yes, they're filtering in here early for the noon start. The crowd will pick up as the day goes on. They're missing a good one right now, though.
Let's get fired up, partner. Donald Tension, what a move, left-handed all the way to the bucket.
Driving strong right with the lefty finish off the screen from Tyrone Beal, who just checked in for Army.
Jack Brunswick into the game for Navy for the first time.
Navy's very patient and deliberate in their half-court motion offense, setting good screen, player movement, ball movement. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
What a pass from Colton Ray. Donald Tension on the receiving end. This game is tied.
As good as Colton Ray is at putting the ball in the bucket, he's willing to make plays for his teammate, finding Tension there on the alley-oop.
Army getting down the court very quickly after missed shots. And laying it up and in is Tyrone Bill.
Tension's a good playmaker as well. Good for Bill coming in early, contributing as Army rotates their bigs, spelling Haley early on.
Army back on the high side by 2, but Ryan McGee-Coleman says not so fast. His second bucket of the game, he's got 5.
McGee-Coleman is an excellent shooter.
Clay with the steal, but misses the layup. Colton Ray, second consecutive possession, he's lost the basketball. Bobby Miles, foul on the floor. And that was Akeem Eccles.
Very uncharacteristic of Colton Ray, who normally does a great job protecting the basketball. But perhaps Navy has an emphasis on Army's star player.
Shot is up and good for Bobby Miles.
Great move by the former Florida State Seminole, signaling that the defender was too small as he worked his way in for the reverse layup.
Colton Ray, that shot in and out. Game of mismatches. Can you find it? No Valdez back in for Army. Nice pass underneath, but Tyler Nelson got a shot blocked by Ray.
Great help side defense by Ray, who signals to the coach he needs a breather right now. He comes out, and he's spelled by Darian Clinton.
So with that, a quick timeout on the floor. It's a full one. We'll take it as well. Navy by 2.
Bet it all on me. I got that high hand, tell them stop playing, wait, whoa, whoa. God sent in the top 10, got me locked in, wait, whoa, whoa. Shot clock with it non-stop, been timeless. Tell them pay attention, need a vibe Vans. Going Kanye on a wild rant, wait. You know what it is, just throwing a dime, you doubling up. Whoa. You know the odds might get a little bad, but they gotta fumble it up. Yeah. Put in a prop, it's looking exotic. You know what side it is, you know what side it is. Hey, bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it.
Back here inside the Smith Fitness Center, 2-point lead for Navy, 10-19 to play here. First half, first game of the day in this 2024 Armed Forces Basketball Championships. Wanted to give a quick shout out to Airman Charlotte Taylor of our 2nd Audio Visual Squadron. Found out today she's Squadron Airman of the Quarter, but out here in Georgia working this week with the crew. So congratulations, ma'am. Keep up the great work.
Kudos to her, and congratulations from me as well.
So both teams still feel like they're trying to feel each other out here. But Brunswick says, I'm done with that.
Catch and shoot off the bench. Again, Navy has a deep squad. They have depth, and that's a luxury. They have multiple players who can step up, and then again, their offense is rhythmic, it's flowing. Nothing is forced right now, as evidenced by Brunswick on that 3.
5-point lead for the men in blue. I like those Navy unis. I just like the colors. They look good.
They do look sharp.
Donald Tension, no. Rebounded by McGee Coleman. And Tyler Nelson gets his first bucket of the game during the timeout. You said he's been a little quiet so far.
A little quiet, but he won't stay quiet for long. Excellent drive with the reverse and the English off the glass. Very skilled.
Definitely a strong move. 7-point lead now for Navy. Ball knocked away. Good job by Miles. Valdez working a 2-on-2 break. Valdez lays it up, Brunswick off the glass. And now Wayne Walcott says timeout.
Good fundamental drive there by Valdez. Draw, kick, show by Brunswick, who attacks the glass and finishes.
What a great, great play in transition for Navy. Largest lead of the game at 9. Timeout on the floor is over. Army trying to regroup as they find themselves down by 9.
Yes, early on it was tight, but Navy has really established control of the game as they're just flowing and clicking on all cylinders right now.
Missed opportunity there for Navy. Nelson tried his best to save it.
One of their few mishaps so far in the first 11 and a half minutes of the game.
Up top, Randall Haley, the big man for 3, no. And it's Miles down with the rebound.
Although he might be able to hit that shot, I think Navy will live with that if Haley attempts 3-point shots today.
Noah Valdez on the baseline. And Navy able to recover with the basketball. So another possession here. And a foul is going to get called on Ryan McGee Coleman. So a technical foul issued to Ryan McGee Coleman.
Mr. Gregory Tolson, lead official, veteran official. Establishing control early in the game, will not tolerate any language or unsportsmanlike conduct.
Mark Bowie at the free throw line, and he drops in the first of 2 on that trip. Lead down to 8.
Let's see if that technical foul, disrupts Navy's flow early on and gives Army something to build on moving forward.
Navy will keep the basketball here.
McGee Coleman calls the play, and the team is directing traffic.
Mark Bowie, and that's a second foul here on Bowie in the first half. And that'll get Wayne Walcott looking down the bench. We'll see what he decides to do here.
Bowie there trying to defend McGee Coleman off the flare screen, got caught holding his jersey.
Tyler Nelson for 3, off the mark. Army in need of a bucket here. They trail by 8. Down low, Randall Haley gets his own miss. That shot poked away by Valdez. Bowie inched among the Navy trees.
Prior to the foul, good help side defense by Nelson and Valdez. But unfortunately, there's a foul. And as we see players, as we progress through this tournament, starting to grab their jerseys, asking the coach, hey, I need a breather. Starting to catch up with them.
And you saw kind of the difference of Clay, even though he was hurt, he had a day off. And that first 10 minutes, he was all over the place.
Absolutely.
Not that the other players aren't, but a day off matters, especially when you're in a 7-day tournament.
Yes.
Bowie, free throw. It's good, so 2 for 2 there for for Army. So it's a 6-point Navy lead. Ryan McGee Coleman surveys, gets it to Brendan Clay.
Good cross screen there by Nelson, getting Ayala open in the post. Clay found him.
That's the second for Randall Haley, so all the big men getting in the action. But you're going to have that when you're really trying to run your offense down through the post.
Absolutely, especially Navy. And we've seen Ayala go to the line a couple of times here tonight. They like to play inside out, whether it's post touches or getting paint touches via the dribble, drives, and kicks. They make a concerted effort to establish themselves in the paint offensively.
Check it out again. You see the foul there from Haley.
Haley's very important to Army's team as they do not have the type of depth down low that Navy has, so that's something to watch out for. Haley remains in the game.
And a nice job by Randall Haley, and he put Tyler Nelson in a bad spot.
Absolutely. Army likes to run ball screens as part of their offensive package, and Haley just got caught there trying to run through. Excuse me, Nelson got caught trying to run through Haley.
So all the big men have 2 except for Ayala, who has 1, and Haley at the free throw line for Army. He had a 16-point effort against Navy last time out. Gets his first point of the game. 64% free throw shooter in the tournament. He had 11 points in yesterday's game.
With these big men in foul trouble, before long, we might see some perimeter-heavy lineups, but it's good to see these teams going back to traditional basketball with true post players, centers that can really get it done on the inside.
Back to the post. Navy goes. Ayala throws it up. Taken down by Chambers.
A little off balance there.
That shot blocked by Valdez.
Valdez is very active as we see him with another block. He's a good athlete.
6:21 and counting, first half. Lead down to 5 for Navy. Knocked away out of bounds by Bowie. Quick hands. See that last foul again. Well, that was the block shot. Clay matched up with Colton Ray. At the elbow, a shot with 5 on the red clock.
Clay coming off the ball screen there, sizing up his defender, creates space, attempts the jump shot, and draws the foul.
Colton Ray called for the foul. That's going to be his second, so Clay at the free throw line. 4 for 6 in the tournament at the charity stripe for Clay. That's his first point since he started out hot with those 2 quick three-pointers.
Yes, and maybe getting back to the line will get him back in the flow offensively. But on the flip side, those 2 fouls by Colton Ray, that's something to watch moving forward.
2 for 2 on that trip, gives 7-point lead back to Navy. Timeout on the floor, we'll take it as well. 5:59 left in the first half.
I'm finna get it, put that on a Bible. This is survival. Gotta treat every move like the final. 1 by a mile. Nobody believe it, they all in denial. Look at me, look at me. Still in the show, that's the crook in me. They want me gone with the hook in me. Asking why is he here like I shouldn't be. I've been on grind since Otto. 10,000 hours the motto. They see the bag is coming out and flocking to me like I won the lotto. Dancing with the devil, there's no recital. I'm killing competition, ain't no revival. I shoot it to kill it, I'm aiming for vitals. I'm showing no mercy when facing my rivals. Snakes in the grass, they getting exposed. I know they be lurking, I'm watching them close. Acting like friends, but really they foes. Thought they was scheming and said adios.
Back here inside the Smith Fitness Center, Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines, our great crew from the 2nd Audio Visual Squadron at Hill Air Force Base, bringing you all the sights and sounds of Army-Navy. First game of the day here on this 5th day of the Armed Forces Basketball Championships. Right now, Navy with a 7-point lead. Brendan Clay and Colton Ray going after one another, and it's Clay who wins the battle. Valdez lays it up and in.
Clay was very active on defense there. Anytime Colton Ray drives the basketball, the defense is going to converge. They are making a point not to let him get easy buckets of the inside, and we see his 3rd turnover the first half there.
Keem Echols can't get that one to drop. It's Valdez with the rebound. He's going to go all the way to the bucket himself, and he draws the foul. And both players a little slow to get up.
Again, when Valdez has a full head of steam, he puts his head down and tries to get to the rack. Even though he didn't have the numbers there, got bailed out by the foul call.
No, Valdez needs a minute.
Kudos to all the trainers for all of the services who are tending to all the players. Again, we're 5 days in, a 7-day tournament, so the wear and tear is starting to show.
No foul called on that last play in Army basketball. Bowie. And it's Navy down with the rebound. Tyler Nelson quickly up the floor. Clay, and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
That's unfortunate, just a lapse in court awareness.
Under 5 minutes to play here in the first half. What you thought this first half would be so far?
Navy has come out strong. I didn't expect there to be a 9-point deficit. I thought there would be a little bit closer, but again, a lot of basketball left to play.
Wayne Walcott, when I talked to him before the game, said, I liked how we played yesterday. I loved the balanced scoring. But he said Navy's bigs were tougher than we thought they were.
Army had an intense matchup with the Marine Corps last night and turns around and plays a Navy team who is 3-1, just like them. Tyler Nelson beginning to assert himself offensively with no Sellers, no Valdez. Earns a trip to the line.
Lead sitting at 6. Clay with the rebound. And a technical foul has been issued against Colton Ray.
Again, the officials not letting anything slip right here, and that's very unfortunate. That technical foul will count as a personal foul, also giving Ray 3 for the half.
Coleman not able to connect. Oh for 2 on the tech, so it doesn't hurt on the scoreboard, but it definitely hurts in the foul column.
It does. Hurts in the foul column, but who will step up for Army in Ray's absence? I would imagine that he will be on the bench for the rest of the half. 3:57 is a ways to go. Army extends their pressure, just a little soft pressure a little bit here.
Under 4 minutes to play in the opening half. That defense for Army looks like it's extended out a little further. Last touch by Harris.
Partner, that last possession, we saw all types of screens. Flare screen, elevator screen. We even saw a triple ball screen that Clay came off of. Unable to convert, but Navy puts an emphasis on screening and player movement in their half-court offense.
Ayala checks back into the game for Navy. They go right to him, working against Harris. And a traveling violation. Navy still sitting with the 7-point lead here. Tucker picks up his dribble, and a turnover for Army.
Army doesn't quite seem to be on the same page early on in this game. They can use a solid offensive possession. We see another turnover there. Perimeter player cut into the basket, thrown out of bounds.
Nelson wants a 3. Rebounded by Terry Harris. Army back on the move, tension. And Nelson corrals another rebound. Nelson got that bounce pass through somehow. Nelson all the way to the bucket.
Nelson giving it up, threading the needle to get it back on the give and go, attacking the paint. Perhaps how to get him going today.
9-point lead now for Navy, and a turnover for Army. And things feel unsettled right now for the home team.
Things are unsettled for the home team right now, and Navy's capitalizing. 9-point lead here. Let's see if they can build on this lead and stretch the game out.
Jack Brunswick Coast Guard lieutenant back in for Navy. Nelson back in the paint. Can't get it to go. And they're going to whistle that foul on Ayala. He just couldn't get his arm out.
Attempting to fight for the rebound there, and Ayala has 2 fouls. He and Sellers, both centers for Navy with foul trouble. Miles, the former Florida State Seminole, checks back in.
Bobby Miles, the 4th member of his family to play at Florida State. That's pretty cool. Spent 5 seasons in Tallahassee as the first free throw goes down for Terry Harris. Only played in 27 career games, but that's 27 more than me.
Absolutely. Any amount of games you get to play in the ACC is an accomplishment.
Ryan McGee-Coleman into the paint. And Harris is doing some work under the boards for Army.
Yes, with Haley out, Harris is going to have to step up and establish himself on the inside. And he's doing just that.
Navy basketball.
Army just trying to get to halftime and stop the bleeding.
8-point game right now. Navy with the lead. Navy trying to do some trapping with the guards up top. Wide open look for 3 from Brunswick, and he nailed it.
Navy does a great job of not forcing the issue. Most times when they don't have something, they turn it down and look for the next thing. And it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Brunswick has 8 in the game. Navy with an 11-point lead. Harris with the rebound. And puts it in.
And again, Harris has to be a key piece for this Army team while he's in the game, since Haley is out, and be a presence in the interior.
Bobby Miles kicks it out for Nelson. Nelson all the way to the cup.
And again, that's just fundamental team basketball. Drive, kick. Miles didn't necessarily have a shot. He showed, found his teammate for the 2.
And Harris on the other end with an offensive foul.
Literally every center we've seen play the game today has 2 fouls. Harris, Haley, Sellers, Ayala, both teams.
Colt Ray, the only player in the game right now with 3 fouls. 6 seconds. Nelson for 3. And a whistle. And Harris picks up that 3rd foul. Second Army player with 3 fouls in the game. And with 2.4 seconds left.
Nelson utilizing the high ball screen there, attempting the 3-point shot. But as Harris showed, defending the ball screen, you have to close out and contest under control. You never want to foul a 3-point shooter, sending him to the line for 3.
Nelson, 64% in the tournament from the free throw line. He's 1 for 3 here in this first half. Three-point opportunity, so one more forthcoming for Lieutenant J.G. Nelson. And that is going to wrap up our first half. A 12-point lead for Navy.
Navy just came out and established themselves, took control of the game, leading to this 12-point lead, offensive execution. Army just hasn't gotten it going yet. Ray in foul trouble. Let's see what changes in the second half.
We'll be back in about 14 minutes. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Navy up 12.
Bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me, yeah. Bet on me, I got that high hand, tell them stop playing, wait, whoa, whoa. God sent in the top 10, got me locked in, wait, whoa, whoa. Shot clock with it non-stop, been timeless, tell them pay attention, need a vibe, Vans, going Kanye on a wild rant, wait, pop. You know what it is, just throwing a dime, you doubling up, whoa. You know the odds might get a little bad, but they gotta fumble it up, yeah. Put in a prop, it's looking exotic, you know what side it is, you know what side it is, hey. Bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me. Might as well go all in on me. Big does when I walk in, just bet it all on me. Bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me. Me, bet it on me. 2 player, 2 play, 2K, somebody other than me, yeah. You not a brother to me, whoa. I'm only playing for keeps, yeah. All of my dogs is outside where they can't keep on a leash, yeah. My work, Mona Lisa, can't pay with a Visa. Walked in with a briefcase and pulled off in a Brinks truck. Bet it on me, your boy. They wanna sleep on a boy, I wanna seek and destroy, yeah. Go put a parlay on a short thing on your boy. Bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me. Might as well go all in on me. Big does when I walk in, just bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me. Bet it all on me. Bet it all on me. Yeah. Ooh, here we go. Back again, same scenario. Win, 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 win. Yeah, we on a roll. Yeah, 2, 4, 6. We like 10 and 0. I should probably tell them something that they didn't know. Back then we was down with nowhere to go. Might have been down, but we didn't fold. Now we running it like some intervals. Tell me who you see when you look straight up like, wait, who us now? What you gon' do when we pull up on you like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when I come through you. Ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, what now? Tell me who you see when you look straight up like, wait, who us now? What you gon' do when we pull up on you like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when we come through you. Ooh, shut down. Shut down. Ooh, give me that crown. I need that now, right now. Ooh, don't make a sound. It's my time. You hear the crowd. Hey, we need that rain. Me and my team. Deja vu. This here a dream. We done all seen 100 times over back when we was just teens. Now we going dumb. Told them we the one. They would count us out. Now we counting up the funds. Now without a doubt, they be throwing other ones. Like they was always rapping. Yeah, believe them if you want. Now they show love. Came with a dub. It is what it is. What it was, they all love to hate when it don't work out. Tell you that they always been down when it does. Say, ooh, right now. Tell me who you see when you look straight up. Like, wait, who us now? What you gon' do when we pull up on you? Like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when we come through you. Ooh, shut down. Ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, right now. Tell me who you see when you look straight up. Like, wait, who now? What
Back here at the Smith Fitness Center, halftime score 38 for Navy, 26 for Air Force. Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines. Delighted to be with you on this 5th day of competition. And partner, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. I mean, we're talking about teams that win games start clinching spots in championship games time.
Yes, teams are aware of where they are in the standings, what needs to happen to make the championship game, who needs to win, who needs to lose, tiebreaker scenarios. So, yeah, it's crunch time right now.
Navy, and right out the gate, Akeem Eccles scores a bucket. That was fast.
Yeah, a little miscommunication, the sideline out-of-bounds play. Miles thought McGee Coleman, they weren't on the same page.
So original starting lineups on the floor for both squads. After Sellers picked up those 2 fouls, we didn't see him again the rest of that first half. Colton Ray fell down.
Two turnovers by Navy to start the half. Unfortunately, Colton Ray going the other way, trying to evade the defender, slipped and got called for a travel.
He's limping a little bit. You talked about it in the first half, but the reality is guys are playing through things at this point.
Absolutely. And all these men and women here are obviously tough. They've been through a lot worse.
But it's still tough.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, very competitive, hotly contested games. They're intense. They're playing consecutive days, injuries. Some are banged up. Very resilient.
Tyler Nelson, Brendan Clay, and Jack Brunswick, 8 points for Navy in that first half. Colton Ray had 5 points for Army, 5 points for Mark Bowie. They led the scoring column there. So we'll see how this shakes out in the second half. A turnover for Navy and a, dare I say, a little sloppy start here in the second half.
Yes, and Coach Bonner wants a timeout here. 3 turnovers for Navy within the first minute and 3 seconds. Settling his team down.
But the winner's into the championship game.
Looks that way. Whoever wins this game will certainly be in the driver's seat in the championship game on Thursday. But a lot of basketball left to be played, a lot of scenarios to be played out.
You're looking at top of the women's bracket there, 4-0 Army, or excuse me, Air Force, and 3-1 Army. They're about to duke it out here in our next game. That's going to be fun.
They are. It is going to be fun. Army, playing Air Force last night. I'm sorry, the Marine Corps. And they have a Navy squad who's seeking their first win today.
10-point lead for Navy. Timeout on the floor is over. I think both coaches probably wanted that timeout as the shot on the way won't go. Rebounded by Nelson.
We've seen a lot of bodies on the floor here early. It's getting very physical.
What a pass from Nelson to Sellers. And it's going to be a foul on Akeem Eccles.
Sellers spent the majority of the first half on the bench in foul trouble. Good to see him back here in the second half at the line for 2.
Sellers misses the first. He was two for 2 in the first half, averaging 9 points a game in this tournament. And the first point of the second half for Navy. Back to an 11-point advantage. Akeem Eccles all the way to the cup.
Good job by Eccles. Tension found him in the trail spot. Eccles drives to the rim using the left hand.
4 quick points for him in the second half. And they call an offensive foul on Tyler Nelson, and he has some disbelief.
Nelson with his 3rd foul. Navy likes to post him up in the mid-post area. Backing himself down, Bowie held his ground and drew the charge.
If we've learned anything, my friend, through the first 5 days of this tournament, though, a 9-point lead, that's child's play at this point.
Absolutely. We've seen some huge leads erased and games become more competitive as Army starts to cut into this lead. Only down by 7 now.
Akeem Eccles doing his personal best to take the lead down by himself. He's got 6 in the second half. Clay with the rebound. McGee Coleman for 3. No. Putback is up and good for Brendan Clay.
Clay with 2 offensive rebounds in that possession, keeping his team alive, creating more opportunities. As we see Seller there defending and blocking Haley, the 2 bigs going at it.
They are battling, Joel.
They are. We knew that would be a battle coming in. 2 true heavyweight centers here who are not afraid to mix it up down low.
Sellers going right back at Haley. Baby hook shot. Misses. That's Sellers' patent.
Yes, the jump hook is his patented shot. And again, an ode to old school basketball where we see teams these days like to go small, positionless basketball. We rarely see 2 traditional centers who get on the block and go to work.
Clay gets caught, gets through the forest. Baseline 3, no. Tension down with the rebound for Army.
Great job passing out the double screen, swinging the ball. Unfortunately, they weren't able to connect.
And dare I say, this is probably the longest in the game that we've not called Bobby Miles' name for a foul, as you see that last replay.
Last couple of games, he has been in foul trouble. He only picks up his first one there early in the second half. Good sign for him.
Akeem Eccles now with 9 points in the game. Noah Valdez is going to check in for Miles.
Eccles doing his part as other players on this Army team. They're trying to find players to step up and contribute.
Eccles in double figures. He's the only Army player to score in the second half. Lead down to 7.
Army's fortunate the way this game has gone to only be down by 7. And 16 minutes is an eternity in basketball.
Brendan Clay for 3. Valdez, though, on the baseline. What hustle.
Valdez has a knack for the ball. You see him around loose balls. You see him very active on both ends. He's a key piece for Navy. Navy never stops moving on offense. Great player movement and ball movement.
And that is a big foul, Joel. Nelson just picked up number 4.
Nelson is often the aggressor at times there, as on that last possession, a little bit too aggressive. 4 fouls, something to keep on. He's still in the game.
And Coach Bonner didn't get Bobby Miles up to the scoring table fast enough, so Nelson has to stay out there with his 4 fouls. Coach Bonner was surprised at how fast they went back to play. Tension for 3, no. Sellers with the rebound.
Nelson just has to be aware of his foul situation right now.
Sellers clicks up top for Clay. No.
I love when Sellers gets the ball down low. His first look is to locate middle, to survey the defense, and if he doesn't have a play, he's finding open teammates.
How about Nelson?
Nelson
4 fouls, no problem.
Doing all he can right now. While he's in the game, I expect him to come out soon at the next dead ball.
10 points for Nelson. Tension kicks it over for Colton Ray. Missed shot. Ray just not having a day right now.
Good find by Tension on the drive and kick. And like you said, Ray just a little bit flat on that shot.
Sellers, no. Army, and what a dunk from Donald Tension.
And Nelson couldn't even contest that shot with his foul trouble, and Tension knew that and went up strong for the jam.
Army trying to climb back into this. More after this.
Hold it, wait, thinking they're taking a bait. Looks like they're top of the chain, but guess who is coming to play? Winner, winner, saint or sinner, future brighter, watch it glimmer, let it simmer, deceiving. Hearing them gas belly breathing, easing up, faking a sweat, wheezing and catching their breath. Haven't seen anything yet, looking for more, never settle for less. Calling no foul, you look for the ref. Falling behind you get left. Every mistake it will cost you, dizzy you lost. Back to the line that you cross. Levels about to be crossed, no doubt it's about to go up. This ain't no test. Gotta be better than best. With level we still I possess. Like a rocket, it's stuck in my chest and attack and attack. Call up the people and tell them I'm back. Hey, do it for the love of the game. Never for the fortune or fame. You better believe it. It's never gonna be the same. Now I got them calling my name. Hold it, wait, thinking they're taking a bait. Looks like they're top of the chain, but guess who is coming to play? Wanna be greater and glorious, paving the way, there'll be more of us victorious. We're taking the throne, taking the title and bringing it home. Hold it, wait, thinking they're taking the bait. Looks like they're top of the chain, but guess who is...
9-point lead for Navy. Let's take a look at that last dunk.
And again, Tension knew that Nelson was tracking him and could not contest that shot. Goes up strong. Nelson didn't want to draw that fifth foul.
Tension with 6 points in the game. Tyler Nelson is on the Navy bench now with 4 fouls. Dakota Ayala is in the game along with Bobby Miles in the big man role for Navy. Valdez and Bowie and Valdez battling. And the possession arrow in favor of Army.
Sometimes Valdez knows one speed, and that's fast. Sometimes he can get out of control there, as we saw. But otherwise, Navy does a good job working the ball both sides of the floor. And I keep harping on their ball movement and player movement, but it's beautiful basketball to watch.
.13:30 and counting here in the second half. Akeem Eccles. And right there to put it back in was Randall Haley.
Haley back in the game as well in the second half after spending a considerable amount of time on the bench in foul trouble. Luckily, he was there for the offensive rebound putback.
Seven-point lead for Navy. And a foul. Donald Tension picks up his first of the game. 13th foul on Army as Randall James up off the Soldiers bench. You just get the sense that Army's hanging around.
They are. They could use a stop here and string together some stops and scores to get this game even closer. Right now, a 3-possession game.
Valdez on the baseline. Ayala saved it for Navy.
Navy very active on the offensive boards, leading to second and third shot opportunities, if not fourth opportunities.
Navy doing a great job on the offensive glass. Army having to work defensively really hard. Saved again by Navy. Bobby Miles with 3 on the red clock, in and out. But no points for Navy on that possession.
Absolutely. They had numerous shot attempts after crashing the offensive boards. Very fortunate for Army that Navy didn't get the bucket there.
Not the shot Army wanted, I think. And that will stay with Navy. And the clock stops with 11:49 to play. Don't forget, a lot of great basketball coming up. The Navy and Army women coming up next. Marines and Air Force in the nightcap. That should be fun.
It's going to be a fun day of basketball, partner.
Ryan McGee-Coleman surveys the landscape. Bobby Miles tried to pitch it in for Ayala. Navy not able to recover this time. And it's Randall James, but he's going to have to wait for his teammates.
Army with a great job defending the post there, leading to a chance on the other end. Unfortunately, Haley could not convert to Chippy. Gets fouled.
Bobby Miles whistled for the foul.
He knows he has 5 to give this half, so only 2 so far.
The Plant City, Florida native Randall Haley at the free throw line. You see that last replay and the foul.
Navy with an offensive rebound of their own, giving themselves another chance to score here.
Navy comes down with the basketball. 6-point lead for the Sailors. Could this be, as you see the foul committed by Army, and that is going to be on Haley, his 3rd. But this could be, I'll say it again, could be a preview of the championship game.
It could be. These teams could match up for a 3rd time on Thursday, depending on what happens in games the rest of today and tomorrow. It would be an exciting matchup.
Bobby Miles misses the free throw. Navy just 8 of 16 in the first half from the free throw line, or this lead would be a little bit bigger.
Yes, fortunate for Army, Navy hasn't really converted at a high percentage on their free throws. Army still hanging around.
Second one on the way. It's short. Haley down with the rebound. Bobby Miles looked a little upset.
These missed free throws we see could be a result of tired legs. Again, 5 games in 5 days.
Well, I tried to shoot a couple free throws before the game, and I was 0 for 2. Noah Valdez right down Main Street.
Again, Valdez head down. He sees an opening, and he finishes at the rim under control.
I had tired legs.
Bend your knees and follow through, partner.
39 points for Army. Trying to get some more. Not on this possession. Numbers for Navy. And Randall James down with the rebound. So another chance to close the gap here for the guys in white. Nice pass to Eccles and one.
Absolutely great flash from the weak side by Eccles. Great find from Haley, who is a good passer out of the post.
10 points in the second half for the Sergeant from Fort Cavazos, Texas. And he has Army within 6.
Army just chipping away here. Maybe they can string together another stop, compound scores, and make this an even closer game. Ramping up the defensive pressure here, Clay dribbles through it.
Randall James whistled for the foul. Colton Ray was politic and said, don't give that to me.
He was, and Randall James raised his hand as quickly as he could so that foul could be attributed to him.
Now it's, excuse me, Ayala back at the free throw line. He was 3 of 6 in the first half. Ayala now with 4 points. Ayala's averaging 9.8 points a game in this tournament.
Again, that's a luxury for Coach Bonner off the bench. When Sellers needs a spell, Ayala is a very capable player. No letdown when he comes in.
Third leading scorer on this Navy team in the tournament. And Brunswick down with the rebound, and he lost it. Good try. Colton Ray now trying to get some points. Haley, no. Colton Ray, and a fight for the loose ball. And Clay landed right on top of Colt Ray. Hopefully he's all right. And it feels like over the last 3 or 4 minutes, the intensity level, the physicality has definitely increased.
It has picked up, but there's a tale of 2 different offenses where Navy's a little bit more rhythmic, they're flowing. Army just trying to force the action a little bit here, pressing their way back into the game.
We'll take a last look at the play here. You see the play getting physical out there between Army and Navy.
Bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me, yeah, bet on me, I got that high hand, tell them stop playing, wait, whoa, whoa, God sent in the top 10, got me locked in, wait, whoa, whoa. Shot clock with it non-stop, been timeless. Tell them pay attention, need a vibe bands. Going Kanye on a wild rant, wait. Ha. You know what it is, just throwing a dime, you doubling up. Whoa. You know the odds might get a little bad, but they gotta fumble it up. Yeah. Put in a prop, it's looking exotic. You know what side it is. You know what side it is. Hey, bet it all on me. Bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me. Bet it all on me.
Good shot of Ryan McGee Coleman. You just saw on your screen the Navy point guard extraordinaire from Perry, Georgia. Sailors with a 7-point lead over Navy and starting to get into the home stretch here in this very physical matchup. 3 ball on the way, no good. Navy had a 3-point win the last time these 2 teams hooked up on day 2 of this tournament. Both teams with a 3-1 record. Winner is into the championship.
Army just can't buy a bucket in the last couple of minutes. They're getting some looks close to the basket, but just can't convert right now.
Noah Valdez with an open look. And it's Ray down with the rebound. Chance to cut into the 7-point deficit. Navy has pretty much led this game. 21, Ayala whistled for the foul. Navy had a 5-2 lead, and then, excuse me, Army had the 5-2 lead, and Navy ripped off a 9-0 run. And they've pretty much had command of the game, at least scoreboard-wise, this entire way. Colt Ray. And Ryan McGee-Coleman out with the rebound. Bobby Miles, soft touch.
Navy patient there, waiting for their opportunity. Goes right at Colton Ray, does Miles. Ray does not pick up a foul.
Terry Harris in the paint working against Sellers. Goes back up a second time. And Ryan McGee-Coleman whistled for the foul. That's his second. That's the 7th team foul on Navy. But a 2-shot foul here coming up for Terry Harris. Former Coppin State Eagle. .75% free throw shooter at Coppin State, over 59 career games for him. Averaged 12.7 points a game as a senior, did Harris. So that's a pretty good college number.
Coppin State, the institution in the MEAC, the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference in Baltimore, Maryland.
That's a tough conference. A lot of good teams in the MEAC.
Some good teams. Norfolk State, North Carolina Central.
Bobby Miles, Sellers there to clean it up. Five points now for Sellers, and Colton Ray a little slow to get up here.
I think he's complaining that he might have taken a shot in the chest. He's having a tough go today.
He's taking a beating for sure. Like, it's been a very physical game for him today. As he comes back. It's taken a while to get there. Hopefully he's okay and can return. With 6:43 left in this game, the officials now having a conversation with Army head coach Wayne Walcott on the other end of the floor. So that's a little unusual.
Hopefully he's okay and it's not a major injury. Perhaps got the wind knocked out of him, taking a shot in the chest or in the midsection.
And so they did call a technical foul on Colton Ray, and Brunswick's at the free throw line. So 2 technical fouls assessed on Colton Ray. That's what we were trying to check with the scores table. So he is done for this game. There's a layup in for Akeem Eccles. He's got 15 points to lead all scores for Army. And it's a 10-point game with 6:21 to play.
That's an unfortunate turn of events for Army, losing Colton Ray, who's ejected from the game.
Bobby Miles turned down the open look 3 and a traveling violation.
Valdez was dancing in the corner, shuffling his feet. Got called for the travel. Army the other way.
And I feel like Navy has to be a little cautious here, because sometimes when you're wounded, the fight or flight instinct.
That might have gotten Army's attention. You know, one of their key players is out. Next man up. Let's see how they respond.
Jakari Chambers came in to replace Colt Ray. He's still down on the Hopefully he's all right. If you remember that last play where Brendan Clay fell down on top of him, he might have still been hurting from that one. Chambers in the paint. And it's going to be a turnover for Army, a relentless Navy defense there. And I think it's official now. It's not our imagination. The intensity here in this second half has been pushed up more than 2 notches.
Getting a little chippy, getting a little physical. Like you said, intense. These teams are staunch competitors. Either team is going to earn this victory this afternoon.
A whistle. And Randall Haley and his day is done. And that is another big blow for this Army squad.
Your starting point guard, your starting center, both foul out of the game. 5.5 minutes left to go. So Army's going to have to rally right now.
Ten-point game. And a foul on the floor. That's going to be on Sellers. Terry Harris at the free throw line for Army. Chance to cut into the 10-point deficit with the clock stopped at 5:17 to play.
This has been a lower scoring game than I would have expected coming in.
Definitely.
Army extends to man-to-man pressure here. Big shot by Valdez on the 3.
Back to an 11-point lead. Bowie tries to answer. And now Navy content to maybe be a little more patient offensively.
Absolutely, that was a good job by Clay, who retreated. Valdez setting something up. The game is in Navy's favor. Time, score, Clay off a screen.
Nelson back into the game for Navy with his 4 fouls, just FYI. A running floater for Tension goes down. He's got 8 points.
Navy tried to quickly go deep after the made bucket by Army. And again, you're in control of the game. No need for home run plays if you're Navy. Continue to do what you've been doing. Run your offense, run your sets, be patient, and milk some of the clock.
Darren Clinton up off the Army bench. He'll replace Terry Harris. That last foul was on Valdez. His first of the game. It's a 9th team foul for Navy. So after this, it'll be a bonus. As you look at the Army bench right there. Marvin Tucker at the free throw line for Army. Marvin averaging 2.8 points a game in the tournament. Tucker not able to connect, and a turnover. Nelson and Ayala couldn't connect.
Good idea by Nelson, attempting to feed the post. Just couldn't connect, like you said. Turnover. Hopefully Army can capitalize.
Nice partially blocked shot from Valdez. He's had a quiet, nice game today.
Valdez is very active. We've called his name a bit. Very scrappy, an athlete, blocks a couple of shots, getting a couple of loose balls and rebounds.
He's got 9 points in the game, 7 of them in this second half, but a traveling violation right there.
Ayala shuffling his feet, attempting to spin on the baseline to convert.
Army trying to conserve clock here with 3:35 and counting in the game. Shot on the way, won't go for Bowie.
Army just having a tough time seeing the ball go through the basket right now on a consistent basis.
Navy being much more deliberate on the offensive end. Nice pick and roll. Ayala, can he finish? And an offensive foul.
Ayala putting his shoulder down there. Jakari Chambers sacrificing himself for the team, drawing the charge.
Giving up 5 inches there is Chambers. But Dakota Ayala, pretty big dude. Tension picks it up. That shot just won't go for Clinton, but clock stops with 2:58 to play. It's a 9-point lead for Navy.
Akeem Eccles there in the post, turning, facing, ripping through, finding his teammate Clinton, who draws the foul.
The first free throw from Clinton won't go. Army is 8 of 11 for free throws here in the second half, 16 of 21 for the game, but need these right here. Eight-point game, 3 minutes to play.
If Army gets a stop here, this would be a huge defensive stop. Much needed.
Nelson playing with 4 fouls, matched up against Bowie. Seven on the red clock. Bobby Miles off the glass, and it's Clinton with the rebound, and Army does just that.
That was great team defense by Army. Clinton showed hard on the ball screen. Chambers rotated to the middle, but unfortunately they compound that great defensive stop with a turnover by Tension.
And with 2:20 left, those are backbreakers.
They are. Coach Bonner wants to regroup here in the last 2:15, 8-point lead. Game's in his favor, time, score, situation, letting his team know what he wants from them in the waning moments of the game.
Final 2:15 coming up. Navy leads by 8.
Gone time, ain't no Cinderella. This drip, hella, need a What you do, I do better. Step up on the scene like a Kim Masquerada. If I want it, I can cop it, I won't tell nobody. Ain't no stopping, yeah, I'm on it, got no time to party. I ain't to the money, ain't nobody really for me. Ain't nobody really for me. Girl, see me a fortune. Picture me rolling in a jet top. Skirt, see me a fortune. Picture me rolling in a jet top. If you want it, I can cop it, I won't tell nobody. Ain't no stopping, ain't no stopping, ain't no stopping, ain't no stopping.
First game of the day, and it's been a good one between Army and Navy. The men, the women are coming up next, but right here, an 8-point lead for Navy. Army has just kind of had a day where they're hanging around, but they have fought through some adversity, just not able to get over the hump so far.
Colton Ray ejected from the game. Haley fouled out of the game. So yes, 2 key starters unable to go the rest of the way, but they're hanging around.
Both Dakota Ayala and Tyler Nelson for Navy playing with 4 fouls themselves. Ryan McGee-Coleman wants a 3, and that's going to go Army's way, so they make a second consecutive stop. So still 3 timeouts for Army, plenty of time here.
Yes, there's plenty of time, but Army has to find a way to get a bucket and make this a 2-possession game. They're playing decent defense in the last couple of possessions, but if they can't put the ball in the basket, they won't have a chance to win.
And Clay's down with the rebound, so the task just got tougher. Minute 28 and counting here in the second half. Navy trying to get to 4-1 in this tournament and clinch a spot in the championship game. Those are the stakes.
Navy is in no rush right now.
Nelson just threw it up trying to draw contact and a foul. He drew a little contact, but not the foul. Baseline shot on the way, rebounded from Clinton. Underneath, rebounded by Miles. Clock approaches 40 seconds to play. And Navy looks content. Shot clock winding all the way down. McGee-Coleman, a shot clock violation. And a lot of time went off the clock, and I think Army threw up the white flag there.
Yeah, when Army didn't foul initially, Coach Will Walcott just told his team, don't foul now. Like you said, content on letting the clock run out. Live to play another day.
We'll take one more timeout on the floor. 25 seconds to go in this one. Navy.
Not even a prospect. Yeah, you better go and get to meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Might as well call the league up. Tell them put the trophy on reservation. Been going up, that's elevation. No holding back, no preservation. Treat off season like postseason. No days off, this dedication.
Game time, don't expect us to play nice. We got plans to take every record home. One thing you should know is how to.
Yeah, you better go and start meditating. Yeah, we coming for you, no hesitation. Look. Yeah, no holding back, no preservation, no off days, this dedication. Game time, get out the way, we coming through. Check the hang time, been on top, ain't nothing new. A lot of talk, whole lot of noise, but ain't cutting through. Word on roll, you got a couple L's, you'll have another soon.
8-point Navy lead here. Army heading down the court. Jakari Chambers uncontested layup. And now Wayne Walcott wants to use one of his timeouts here. And it's going to be a full timeout. We'll take it as well. It's down to a 6-point lead for Navy.
Bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me, yeah. Bet on me, I got that high hand, tell them stop playing, wait, whoa, whoa. God sent in the top 10, got me locked in, wait, whoa, whoa. Shot clock with it non-stop, been timeless, tell them pay attention, need a vibe Vans, going Kanye on a wild rant, wait, pop. You know what it is, just throwing a dime, you doubling up, whoa. You know the odds might get a little bad, but they gotta fumble it up, yeah. Put in a prop, it's looking exotic, you know what side it is, you know what side it is, hey. Bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it, bet it all on me. Might as well go all in on me.
19.7 seconds left in this one. Dan Hawkins, Joel Hines. It's been an entertaining one. And Army is going to foul Navy with 18.5 seconds left. That'll send Jack Brunswick to the free throw line. A foul called on Clinton. It is a two-possession game.
It is a two-possession game. After that last made bucket, making it a 6-point game, Army chose to foul out of the timeout.
First free throw goes down.
Big make by Brunswick, draining the front end of the 1-and-1.
Brunswick, 11 points in the game. That's a tournament high for him.
Just speaks to the depth of Navy off the bench, whether perimeter or post player.
What a shot from Jakari Chambers. Makes it a 5-point game with 13.4 seconds left. And Wayne Walcott uses one of his last two timeouts. And it's a 5-point lead for Army.
Still not over.
Don't forget the women are coming up next. They will play against the Navy women. Marine Corps and Air Force men will be around 4:30, and then the nightcap. Marines and Air Force. Marine women had a win a couple days ago, and then they played a really good game yesterday.
Yes, in this next game, Army, Navy women, looking forward to the matchup between the backcourts. Kira Wood on the Navy side, Williams and Wayne on the Army side. Should be very entertaining.
Foul on Brendan Clay by Chambers. The Navy women have played good the last few days as well. They came out and almost had the upset of the tournament against the Army women yesterday.
Coach Broomfield is going to demand the absolute best from their team, regardless of their record. They're not going to quit. They're going to come at you. So we should see a competitive matchup next game.
Brendan Clay at the free throw line. He has 11 points for Navy in the game. Petty Officer Second Class, who hails from San Antonio, Texas. 7-point lead. Clinton goes all the way to the rack, lays it up and in, and a foul.
No quitting Army here. Unfortunate foul to put Army on the line to attempt to continue cutting this lead.
Clinton at the free throw line. He's a specialist from Fort Carson, Colorado. He's got 3 points in the game. Misses the free throw. Bobby Miles with the rebound and a quick foul by Marvin Tucker. So it's going to be Bobby Miles at the free throw line for Navy. Miles with 4 points in the game. Make it 5.
Navy's done a good job the last 5 free throw attempts, draining them while Army is fouling. Make that 6.
64-57, as that is going to do it. The final score here between Army and Navy, and for the second time in this tournament, Navy has Army's number.
And who knows, again, a lot of basketball to be played, but we may see these teams again on Thursday. But again, the Marines and the Air Force have a lot to say about that.
Tough day for Army. Colton Ray, Randall Haley foul out. 15 points for Akeem Eccles leads the way for them. And for the Navy, they had 3 players in double figures. Team high honors for Jack Brunswick and Brendan Clay with 12 points, 10 points for Tyler Nelson. And that is going to wrap up our coverage from game number 1 of the day. Navy into the championship game. For my partner Joel Hines and our entire second audiovisual squadron crew, I'm Dan Hawkins. We'll see you in about 24 minutes. Thanks for dialing in.